everyone, I'm Lynn, and today's topic is, I called it the Screams in Shanghai. So, I saw a really interesting video. It was sent to me, someone else then showed it to me, and I wanted to do a read on it. So real quick, before I get started, please go in and hit the like button. It really just helps me out. I am trying hard to fight through this censorship wall, and it's difficult. So it just helps me be seen a little more out there. So I would ask you to please hit that button. Okay, so back to what I was talking about here. So I'll go ahead with this question. It says, Lynn, what can you say about the following video on Twitter? Thousands of people in Shanghai have been locked in their homes as China tries to adopt a zero beer bug policy. What is going on? Eerie. And I have a couple links on my blog itself that go in. One is the video itself. The other one is an article that's talking about what is going on and how people are protesting and things like that and what is really happening in China. So when I focused on this, I mean, first of all, it's very bone chilling. You can tell they're saying something. I don't speak that language, but you can just feel it. I mean, the energy of it, very, very creepy. The people, they felt like when I was tuning into this to be prisoners in their own homes, trapped and basically left to die. I got that the CCP, they're resorting to drastic measures to rid the country of the beer bug, even if it comes down to survival of the fittest in a most prepared scenario. It's almost like they would rather take a few and let the rest just go. It's winners and losers are being chosen by who is prepared for this type of thing and who's not. Many citizens realize what is going on, and they're starting to fight back. It's still fairly passive. It's not like they're out there and they're really physically doing anything, but they're yelling, they're verbally revolting, they're trying to come together. But I could see this escalating into something a lot more violent if things don't change. The issue is that the CCP doesn't care about the people, and they would think absolutely nothing of using their own military against them to make an example and use fear to keep people in line. That's what they've done. That's how they've had so much control up until now. You scare people and make them fearful for their life or their family or anything else, and they basically will do what you tell them they have to do, and it's a real struggle that the people are being faced with. I fully expect a large clash between the citizens and military in the next week or two. I think it's inevitable that it will happen, and China is basically going to show that the people are going to, not really stand a chance against any kind of an armed force. So I do see the people rising up, but I see the people losing in that battle because this government, this military is just really, they don't see people as people. They're tools to get things done. I get that with a lack of food and the medical supplies and social interaction, a lot of them are going to die, and some are even going to commit suicide because they can't stand it. They feel they have no way out, and they feel hopeless to fight against this. China created a horrific situation for the people in attempts to eradicate this illness from the population. But then the thing, I wanted to take it a little step further, and why such circumstances? Why are they doing this if most recover from the illness? I get you don't want it in your country. I get that you want it gone. But why would you lock people in their homes to basically die if, all in all, this thing eventually rode its course, you got some kind of immunity out of it, and life eventually went on? Like, why are they reacting in such a way? And I really saw a couple things with this. A new strain was strategically released to certain areas, and China was one of them. So I get that this was an intentionally released strain in this area, and I see that China is rivaling other countries and trying to slowly become a superpower, and we all know that. And I talk about this on my blog all the time. The PTW, the powers that were, I refer to that faction of people, if you want to call them people. I'm not sure that I would even categorize them as that. They want to dominate the world, and they're not going to let China rise. They're just not going to do it. So they have a few options to make life hard and destabilize China. This happens to be one of them. If you can hurt the people in the economy in a stealthy way, you can weaken the country substantially. China knows this, and in the most aggressive way possible is trying to stop this more deadly strain. I get it's more contagious, it wreaks more havoc on the body. They'd rather have the strong emerge and have the whole country, rather than have this whole country just completely taken out. It's like they will fight the slow death, and they're really going against these PTW group here. I hear the focus is more on the preservation of the CCP than the people themselves. They don't care about the people as an individual. They're just trying to survive and sustain and come out of this okay on the other end. Truly horrific situation these people are experiencing. I mean, it is really, really horrific. Take a moment, send and say a prayer for them. Anything. I mean, they just need any kind of well wishes, any kind of positivity. And then also, I heard this when I was closing up with the end of my blog post on here, that the next time someone asks why the U.S. has a Second Amendment, go ahead and cite the century, because any country, I mean, the U.S., I'm not saying that there's not been a lot of wool pulled over a lot of eyes, not a lot, we've had fear, we've had different restrictions and all these other things. But overall, people in masses, I cannot see easily being locked away in apartments and homes to not truly fight back. When you think you're going to die or your family's going to die, it would be much harder in a country that's armed versus one that's not. And that's all I'm going to say for that. So anyway, again, send a little love their way. This is truly, truly horrific. Watch the video. It's very creepy and very heartbreaking, bone-chilling even. I will leave you with that. Again, I am Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.